friends. It's Anime Death Spiral, the only anime podcast that knows right from wrong. And can you believe it? I watched anime.
You watched anime, Remy?
I actually watched some anime. I mean, some real cartoons, like some animated type shit.
Like some moving pictures that people drew and then put together in a long sequence so they look like motion.
Yeah,
Hey, what's all this shit about animating on ones and twos? I think you should only be animating on twos.
You know, only white people animate on ones and twos. You know, everybody else in the world is animating on twos and fours. do people get that? Never mind. Fuck it. Not a joke. This is not a drill, people. I watched some straight up fucking cartoons here, and I want to talk about them. Let's go back and forth. Let me lay down a couple that I've watched recently, and then I want you to hit me with some of yours because I know you also incredibly watched cartoons. There's a new release called Unicorn Wars. Now, this is a French and Spanish collaboration anime by Alberto Vasquez, who did Bird Boy a little while ago. Now, this is an incredible anime. Have you heard of this? Unicorn Wars? This came out fairly recently.
I assume that it's not a sequel to Gundam Unicorn, so no.
No giant mechs in this one. Unfortunately. This one is kind of in the spirit of Guillermo's oeuvre of strange anti-fascist Spanish fantasy-esque social realist type movies. The latest obviously being Pinocchio. This is a Spanish social realist fantasy anti-fascist movie about a group of fascist teddy bears who are waging a sort of holy war against the unicorns of the magical forest. And let me tell you, it's brutal as hell. It's incredibly touching and disturbing at the same time. It's animated to within an inch of its fucking life. It looks incredible, and it has one of the best endings I've ever seen. It's really hard to talk about this because a lot of it is like straight up depressing, really depressing shit. It is Apocalypse Now about teddy bears, and some real bad shit goes down. But it is absolutely 100% fantastic, and I want to shout that out because this is an unmissable movie. Like, get the fuck out there and watch Unicorn Wars. You know, Guillermo's whole thing for like the last, couple years or so is he's been pushing this like animation is a medium, not a genre, right? Animation is for adults, right? His whole thing has been this recently.
Well, I don't think it's so much that animation is for adults. It's that, like you said, animation is a medium, not a genre. It's not restricted to any one age or type. It's just how you make a movie. You know, it's like saying, blocking in a scene is for kids. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it was always a ridiculous thing. This is actually, I mean, and of course, as anime viewers, we obviously understand this intrinsically.
Oh, we are very smart and cool and big.
Yeah, anime has always understood this. It's all from day one. It's been for, adults as well as children. But I think what Unicorn Wars does is really interesting is that in Guillermo, I think sometimes Guillermo pushes it in a way that's like, animation is for adults also. But, like, Unicorn Wars is an animated movie that is for adults, period. This is for, like, a mature audience, but in the way that, like, mature used to be used in, like, a mentally mature person.
Like, you're not really gonna get what's going on here, kid.
Well, you might, but it's certainly not meant, for you. And if that's not catnip to every child who wants to be an adult faster than they're supposed to be, I don't know what to tell you. Watch Unicorn Wars.
That's a piece of advice to you, dear listener, who I'm assuming is a kid, probably. Seek out media that people tell you not to read.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of you non-video podcast fans are aware of this, but we are streaming Minecraft whenever we do the podcast.
It's strictly for algorithm purposes.
Yeah. I just want to reach those 8 and 9-year-olds, okay? I'm speaking directly to you, 8 and 9-year-olds.
I mean, I think that kids should watch Princess Mononoke. I think we should start putting those thoughts in their head pretty early.
Oh, definitely. Well, I really don't have a leg to stand on because, like, one of the first anime movies I ever watched at, like, maybe 7 or 8 years old was Vampire Hunter D, and that just like,
hell
really
yeah.
fucked up my brain. Just absolutely destroyed me mentally.
Oh, it scrambled you like fucking eggs.
It did. I really one of the first true delineators of like mental illness in my life.
See, that's funny because my earliest movie memory is watching My Neighbor Totoro at like 4 or 5, and so maybe that is what set us on these diverging paths.
I think so. And it's funny because when we watched Princess Mononoke, this was because a friend is working their way through the Ghibli movies.
Which I'm familiar with this friend, and I am disappointed in their lack of a catalog.
Yes, of course. And they started with My Neighbor Totoro, and so they were quite shocked when we moved into Princess Mononoke, I have to say, which I found very satisfying personally. Anyway, I just want to shout out Unicorn Wars. I watched a couple other things, just want to talk about briefly. This is one that I was unaware of, and I'm really kicking myself because I really should have been aware of this. But I watched a live-action anime called Gunhead. That's Gunhed.
Now, can I pause for a second and have you define the term live-action anime? Because you just said some bullshit to me, sir.
Let me explain. Gunhead is a early 90s cyberpunk techno fantasy movie that is basically the single most influential foundational text that explains Final Fantasy VII, Armored Core, Metal Gear Solid, Front Mission, basically all of science fantasy of the Japanese 90s and 2000s output is inside Gunhead. It is the seed from which all Japanese science fantasy grows. So when I say I'm ashamed that I hadn't seen this before, I mean it. Like, this is not just a hole in my canonical understanding of these things that I claim to have like an emotional connection to. This is like talking about Jesus without having read the Bible type shit.
Oh shit. This sounds dope.
You need to get on this. I mean, I know I just said I get on Unicorn Wars, but Gunhead, there were shots in this movie that my jaw just fucking dropped because they are literally copied frame by frame in Final Fantasy VII, frame by frame in Metal Gear Solid. There is a mech that is just all of mechs in like all of 90s Japanese
it's just every
movies
mech.
And games. Yeah, it's incredible. It's a shape-shifting mech, so it covers like 5 or 6 different genres. The cast is a mixed, it's a multinational cast, so these characters are speaking Japanese and English together with no distinction, which I found really cool and weird in a way that they don't really do anymore. Like I said, there's like insane mech action in this shit. There is a giant uninhabited machine life tower that our main characters have to traverse in this sort of like creepy, lonely horror way that explains stuff like blame and even stuff like later on like Girls Last Tour, like shit like that. It comes straight out of
How long is this movie?
It's a little too long, but it's too long.
So when you say too long, that means it's more than 90 minutes, but like how long is it?
I think it is like 2 hours, maybe, something like that.
That's not too bad.
1989's Gunhead runs a very long 1 hour and 37 minutes. Yeah.
Listen, as someone who just watched The 10 Commandments, which is like 3 hours and 49 minutes, like that's not that bad.
No, it is not. It is no 10 Commandments. You don't have to
By the way, they
that.
should totally make a 10 Commandments anime.
Oh boy, we can get to that at some point. We could talk about that.
Passover's coming up.
Yeah, we should really get to Jesus adaptations in anime sometime.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Anyway, this movie is incredible. There's a female lead who is doing like a fucking spot-on Lauren Bacall performance. She's fucking badass. It's an incredible movie that needs to be watched to understand. At the very least, Final Fantasy VII stole everything from this movie. Everything.
What year did it come out?
In 1989.
89?
Yeah, 89.
Okay.
It was right there.
Okay. We're talking like a November release, 89 maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Honestly, this is the kind of thing where, like, if the script had been tightened up a little bit, this would have been next to Alien and Blade Runner, like, as foundational sci-fi texts. Like,
damn.
No joke.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put that on the list. That's going on my list.
Oh, put that on the list, my friend.
Gunhead, got it.
Yeah, and so anyway,
hey, is that a Chainsaw Man reference?
Gunhead. He's 100% seen this movie, no doubt. Just like Kojima has 100% seen and stolen everything from this and Escape from New York. Like, honestly, those are his entire output.
Hey, don't forget Die Hard.
Also Die Hard, yes. How could I forget John McClane?
He was crawling in vents. That's where he got vents from, man.
Yeah, so I didn't just watch movies. I also started a series, kind of a throwback series at this point, I guess. It's weird calling, like, 2000s anime throwbacks. It makes me want to die a little bit.
That's like hearing Green Day on the oldies station on the radio.
It is. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Here, when I heard Santeria play on like a classic rock station, I did want to die. So this is a show. It's like from the late 2000s, which is apparently like, ancient at this point, called Ga Ray Zero. Apparently, this is one of those shows that started life as a prequel to a manga that's called Ga Ray. So I'm already confused, like right off the bat.
They made an anime prequel to the manga?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that strange?
That is okay. Yeah. You guys do you. Who am I to judge? I'm not successful. They had a show. That's the end of the story.
Yeah. Who the fuck are you? Honestly, I mean, if we're going to do adaptation stuff, I kind of prefer it that way, do something new, make something, you can own, I like that. I like that approach.
Sure.
And because it's a prequel, I didn't have to know anything, so I got to go in cold, which was absolutely perfect because this show does one of those things that I really like. It has that move, which is like the full-on fake out. And I hope people aren't sensitive to this stuff because, like, when I was told this is the reason why I watched it. I hope this isn't, like, telling you that there is a fake out episode 1 doesn't turn you off and instead turns you on. Because a lot of shows do this, and a lot of shows that I like do this.
Sure.
But Ga Ray Zero, it starts off as a very almost comically generic fantasy sci-fi anime about a government agent that has to exorcise ghosts in Tokyo, and they have like holy water guns and shit like that, and there's a plucky team of exorcist guys who all wear little cute matching outfits, and they have their own little anime personalities.
Sure.
One of them does like kung fu with a motorcycle at one point, which I thought was very funny. It leads all the way through this episode, setting up very classic shonen. Our main character is haunted by the failures of his past. We get some, very authentic flashbacks to like his traumatic origin story, which is very good. He sets up his romance with one of his anime colleague girls. They even have there is a fake Gendo Ikari who's leading our shonen protagonist team, and he shows up at the board meeting and does the little hand glasses thing even. And just as a side note, what is up with board meetings in anime? There's like board meetings in every anime. It's very strange.
Well, I don't know. Did you watch Shin Godzilla, right? That movie's all board meetings. It's like 20% monster fights, which are awesome, and like 80% board meetings.
Yeah, there's lots of board meetings in anime. Guys in suits sitting around a thing, watching a screen and talking about like which governmental agencies are failing at the moment.
I mean, I think that just happens a lot in real life, probably in Japan.
Yeah. And we go through this, and right in the last like 5 minutes maybe, our team is celebrating their like skin of the teeth save against a big kind of disappointingly CGI ghost. CGI didn't look very good.
It's never looked good.
Yeah, the late 2000s CGI stuff really stands out these days. But like, they're having a thing, and then shit goes down. The plucky anime shonen team that we just spent, 26 minutes of, eviscerated brutally. This anime girl with a big ass sword, exactly what I'm talking about, shows up and just slices these guys apart. Brutal. And she has that, that thing where like some of the anime girls have square hair. You know what I'm talking about? It's not very important, but like, she has square hair.
Sure.
Yeah.
Got that square head.
Just like how anime girls have different hair colors and eye colors to kind of signify different tropes, I think the square hair thing also inhabits the same space, but I'm struggling to find like what it corresponds to. I'll have to think about it more.
Yeah. Got some of that angular folliculitis.
Yeah. But she shows up and she just goes like, game over, bitches, and just fucking slice these guys up. And that's the end of the episode. It just cuts to credits over silence, which is how you sell a show. That is how you do it.
Do a fake out.
Yeah, I was so fucking in. And this is something that works a lot on me. So I kind of went back and I was thinking about other shows, and maybe you can think of some too. But like, this is not an uncommon thing that happens in anime and in TV shows in general. But like, I was thinking about a couple that I had seen. I know you haven't watched some of these.
I'm looking at the list you wrote in the notes here, and I actually haven't watched anything besides Gurren Lagann.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, Gurren Lagann does the same thing, basically. It does it sort of in reverse. A lot of these shows do it in reverse, where the first episode, right, they start with the big space battle, and they're doing the giant mechs and the cosmic warfare. And then we cut to a little kid in a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a nice little fake out. And it sells the show really well, right? A lot of these shows do that. So Higurashi does that, basically. It starts with a murder way forward, and then we kind of cut back to like a cutesy slice of life anime.
Sure.
Gungrave, obviously, episode 1, it's all about a crazy zombie man with a giant cross-shaped gun taking out monsters, and then we cut to a very, very simple mafia gangster setup for 20 episodes or so.
They take a long time to set up the Gungraving.
Literally an entire season.
Yeah.
To get there. The most famous one, of course, not most, but very famous, is the Puella Magi Madoka Magica, which
I have heard of Madoka Magica before. That's it's kind of hard to escape in the fandom.
Yeah, but it's a great sell because it starts that way. It's a very kind of magic girl setup, and then we devolve very quickly into some really demented shit, which is great. It sells the show really well. Gaku Gurashi does basically the same thing as well, where we start off with what is a slice of life episode, and you're kind of like, well, I'm waiting for the hook to kick in, and then like right at the end, hey, guess what? Things are a little darker than you realized. Promised Neverland is a big one that just came out recently, which has, again, the entire first episode is like, look at these cute kids, they're living life in this cute orphanage, and drops a huge fucking bomb in the last five minutes of the first episode. And Decadence, which is pretty recent and is an incredible show as well, you should really get on that, has an incredible twist that's like 3 episodes in that completely recontextualizes everything you've seen and everything you think you understand about this like fairly, really interesting but like fairly standard anime setup.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Of this list that you wrote down here that you just went over, like, do you think that all of them are using we're gonna call the twist a tool? Are they using that tool to the fullest extent?
Then the fake out narrative device.
Yes.
I think. Well, let me think about that.
Like, I already you wrote down Gurren Lagann. I already said flash forwards don't count.
I would say, you say that, yeah, and some of these do have. I mean, Higurashi, Gurren Lagann, Gungrave definitely are all flash forwards. I would say Higurashi uses its flash forward really, really well, especially because that show has to carry the drama of that flash forward for like a while before things take their turn. So I would say it absolutely uses the fuck out of that. I mean, that's a very economic choice.
Sure.
Gungrave, not so much. I think when you're doing the fake outs such as like Madoka Magica or Gekogarashi or Promised Neverland, where everything relies on you reaching that final 5 minutes of the first episode and like seeing some things getting ready to like go off, it's really risky. It's super risky, right? Because it means that you need to buy in so hard that you're willing to watch another episode just to get the actual premise of the show, right? Because everything invested now in this episode 1 is just building up for a punchline. Instead of a traditional episode, which is supposed to be selling you on the fucking premise of the show.
Yeah, a traditional episode would set up the characters, their motivations, what the general theme and arc of the series is going to be, right? When I think of a perfect episode 1, rip out there to Pokemon, but, you get Ash, you get Pikachu, you get what he wants to do with his life, and you get where he's going in 24 minutes.
I think it's something that I personally just have a bias towards. I really, really like it. So, I'm the guy who, like, loves Lost, and I'm probably the only person on Earth who actually watched Flash Forward. If obviously no one knows what that show is, but I do. I watched Flash Forward.
You are literally the only person who likes Lost at this point.
Yeah, probably. I watched 2 seasons of Heroes. Do
you hate yourself? Are you okay?
I had a lot of free time for a long time when I was a teenager. I had to fill it somehow.
Man, that 2009 writer's strike must have really hurt you.
Hey, R.I.P. Arrested Development. Honestly, never really recovered.
I mean, even that 3rd season back in the day has some questionable stuff in retrospect. We don't have to get into it.
We'll save that for our Arrested Development episode.
Also, please edit me saying retrospect better.
I'm gonna auto-tune that. So that's just something I was thinking about a lot. I think Gabre Zero does this really well, and it's also one of the most extreme versions. I mean, even more so than the ones I've listed. Decadence is one of the more interesting ones because it actually waits like a few episodes before it gets to the fucking punchline, which is very bold. I mean, talk about a risky play. But the payoff is extreme. I mean, it is so satisfying. I think Gungrave is the one that falls on its face the most, but mainly just because the writing just isn't very good. Anyway, so that's just some stuff. Those are my thoughts recently. I threw Gabre Zero on basically by random, and it totally reminded me of all of this shit that I really like. I think more anime should have the fucking guts to do something interesting like this. Because so much anime is like basically the complete opposite of this. And I know we've talked about this, but like they sell the fuck out of their premise in episode 1 and then just drop off the map, like have nothing to follow it up with. It's like front loading every idea you had and then just flailing in the wind. So in that regard, I like this a lot better.
I mean, I have to imagine in those cases, they're really banking on recouping funds via merch and auxiliary sales to the series, right? They're not really banking on the series itself. They're banking on character designs that people want cute figures of and shit.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I think you should probably start with, like, making a good show before you move into the advertising and the merchandise and all that. But who? Hey, I've never made a show. Who am I?
You're also not a millionaire.
I'm also not a millionaire. Anyway, yeah, so I watched some anime. I read a little bit more real account, the Facebook death game, and it's really gone to ground. It's really started chugging. We've now had 2 naked girl sauna scenes. The second one had a horny dog in it, so you kind of know where that's going.
Wow.
Really taking a nosedive. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish that one, but I'll try.
Well, all right, I'm gonna throw a quick shout out to one thing I've been reading.
Do it.
Which is the works of Nagata Kabi. She's done several autobiographical manga about her life.
Well, look, at least say the title of the famous one.
Sure. Her most famous one is called My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness. She followed it up with a 2-volume book called My Solo Exchange Diary, and then she's had a couple short books that she's released about her life, about other struggles that she's had. Again, go read them. They're great. I loved them. Real brutal shit.
It's essay manga stuff. If you're really into the essay manga stuff, the autobiographical stuff, they are probably some of the best examples of that kind of thing. They're really, really fantastic. What else have you read or watched?
How about we take a break, and then when we come back, we can talk about some of the new releases that we've been watching, because that ties in to recent stuff that I've personally been watching as well.
All right. Oh boy, that was a lot of cartoon talk.
There's a lot of anime.
I know, that was a lot of anime. Hold on a second. Oh my god, is there more anime on this list?
I think there's some more anime here.
Nate, did you watch more anime?
I did watch some more anime. In fact, it was mandated at last episode that I watch more anime.
Oh ho ho ho! So are you paying the price?
Yeah.
For our isekai death spiral, huh?
So for those not following our lore, last episode I lost several rounds of a quiz of isekai anime and had to go watch some isekai anime.
All right, so you're paying us back. You watched Kuma Bear?
So the episode in the quiz was actually for the upcoming spring lineup for Kuma Bear Punch, which is the season 2. There's actually an entire season 1 of Kuma Bear that you didn't know about, apparently, prior to this.
I got tricked.
Slipped right by you. How could you let a good isekai like this go right under your nose, my man?
I can't believe I didn't do the necessary research. Hey, by the way, I don't do research. If you want things corrected, you can fucking hit me up personally, okay? We can talk it out. Otherwise, fuck off. I'm not gonna look this shit up. I put in so much effort already. So what the fuck even is Kuma Bear? You watched episode 1. What is it?
So the general setup is, fade in on a very generic fantasy world. You have a little boy running up to an adventurers guild saying, "Help, help, my town is being attacked by a giant snake."
Dope. You're activating my gamer senses right now.
Yes. And everybody standing around in the adventurers guild is like, "Oh, I can't do it. I'm not ranked high enough." The fact that the Adventurers Guild is a very bureaucratic and mercenary system, it was very funny to me. Also, should set off your gamer senses right away.
Oh, they're off. They're going. It's blaring like a police siren right now.
And so this little kid is going around, it's saying, "Please, won't you help my village?" And everyone's saying "Oh, I'm not strong enough. All the strongest heroes are already out on assignment." And out of nowhere, a young lady wearing a bear onesie.
Nice catch.
She's wearing a bear onesie with instead of gloves, she has a black and a white bear puppet on each hand. And she goes up to the kid. Yeah. Yes.
Wait, hold on. What?
She has I'm going to send you a picture.
She has a teddy bear on each hand?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, sure. All right. That's not what I was expecting, but all right. That's pretty weird.
So this is what she looks like. She has like a black and white bear onesie on, with the bear hood. And on each hand, she has little teddy bear puppets.
Okay, that's a lot more deranged than I had originally assumed.
And so she's like, "Hey, kid, I'll kill that snake for you, whatever. It's no big deal." And he's like, "Wow, really awesome. I'm going to take you back to my village." And so they go outside of the Adventurers Guild, and her 2 bear puppets she can use to summon 2 actual giant bears.
Do they come off her hands?
No, and I'm going to send you another picture so you can see exactly what I'm seeing here.
Oh, no.
So here's another shot. You can see that she clearly keeps the puppets on her hands. She summons 2 larger bears that she can ride on the back of.
Little cutesy bears. They've got bows. They've got huge sparkly eyes.
It's cutesy.
These are not cocaine bears.
So they go back to the kid's village, and he's like, "You have to be careful. This is the most dangerous monster in the whole world." Basically, her bear suit is revealed to be like, essentially function like an Iron Man suit, right? So like she can pull down her hood, and the bear eyes do like a scan read of the area.
She has detective vision?
Yes, she has detective vision.
Holy shit.
More than that, she has like menu powers, right?
Oh, she has floating menus? Oh,
She doesn't have floating menus, but she has menus inside the bear hood.
Right. A big thing in webtoons. Interesting that they made the crossover.
Anyway, she saves the village from this giant snake like it's no big deal. And at the end of the episode, it is revealed that it is actually a video game that she plays. Right?
Right.
She's a 15-year-old shut-in, like, super genius who makes a bunch of money day trading stocks online.
Oh, God.
And uses
that
the funds.
Shit.
Yeah. Yes. And you better believe they talk about Bitcoin.
Oh, no. Why do these things always assume that if you're like a little kid genius, you can just make $1 billion on the stock market? The stock market is not like a puzzle to solve. The reason people get rich on the stock market is because they already have a shit ton of money. I don't want to get into some fucking like basic economics here, but like it's a fucking slot machine, you dumb fuck. Sorry. Anyway, sorry. That shit gets me really mad. The whole fucking kid genius makes stock money. Like,
well, it's done very, very ham-fisted because it's like she defeats the snake and everyone congratulates her, and then it does the whole, zoom out VR thing.
Right.
And it shows her sitting up in bed and taking off her VR visor. And she was like, "Wow, that was fun." And she walks over to her computer, looks at a screen, and then picks up her phone and says, buy, sell, and then hangs up. And then, all right, that should be enough for mom and dad's allowance this month.
Computer, buy low, now sell high. I hate that.
She's so successful at day trading that she funds her parents to just like go on vacations all the time, so she has the house to herself.
She's cucked her parents.
Yes.
She's financially cucked her parents.
Please don't say that word.
Into leaving her alone. That's really funny.
And then the reveal or the catalyst for the series at the start of episode 2. I had to go a little bit farther to get what the gist was.
Oh, so you got into it.
Yeah. Well, episode 1 just ends with her like waking up and revealing that she's some kind of like kid shut-in genius, right?
No cliffhanger?
No cliffhanger.
Bold choice.
Yeah. And then episode 2 starts with her getting a message from the developers in her MMO, when she logs in. And it's like, you've been selected to test a special update. And when she installs the update, she gets isekai'd into the world of the game.
Okay, I just briefly, I also have to say, a kid genius clicks on the most obvious fucking scam email I've ever heard in my life.
Right?
Are you kidding me? What?
Well, I mean, she's a shut-in. Maybe she doesn't, read a whole lot. Maybe she just plays this game and day trades.
Social engineering works really well on dumbass shut-in girls.
Isn't that how Bitcoin works, though?
Sorry, I shouldn't gender it. It happens to any shut-in. You're all stupid. Okay, so she doesn't get sucked into the game until episode 2?
Yes.
Wow. And how does this change her life in any way?
Well, I don't know yet, but the catch when she gets sucked into the game is that she still has her bearhood equipment, which lets her summon the bears and scan the area, but she's reset to level 1.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So that's where I left her off.
Wow. So if she dies in the game, does she die in real life?
God, I hope so.
I mean, she'd have to, right?
Yeah, it's the only rule that makes sense. Ever since I saw Game Over with Frankie Muniz, that is the only version of that scenario that I'll accept.
I mean, if not, what would the stakes be? Honestly, I mean, we've already talked a little bit about how the isekai is this horrible, fucking death drive power fantasy.
I mean, the isekai genre is the propaganda wing of a death cult, basically.
It is, and the isekai itself generally only has stakes as far as for the audience to kind of buy into. They have just enough that you can be like, oh well, it's kind of dangerous, but they're almost always ornamental in pretty much exactly this way. Actually, it sounds like this one didn't even address it in the first two episodes.
I'm guessing if they do address it, what they're gonna do is she's gonna start missing her family, because the point that they make in the first episode is that she doesn't like having her family around. She makes money on the stock market so that she can pay for them to be on vacation all the time.
So, but doesn't that imply the opposite, that this is her dream come true?
Well, maybe at first, I'm guessing. I'm sure being reset to level 1 is going to humble her a bit. But at first, maybe she'll be like, oh, wow, this is so great. Now I just get to live my game forever. And then she'll start missing her mom and dad or whatever. Because also in the first episode, she gets a call from her grandpa, and he's guilting her about coming to visit him.
Oh no, grandpa.
And she's like, yeah, I'll send you some money. I'll come visit soon. She hangs up on him, and she's like, wow, it's so annoying to have a grandpa who loves me.
Wow. These spoiled kids, man.
I know. These fucking kids, these zennials.
These fucking zennials playing their games that just randomly have bear outfits in them. I'm assuming this is like a medieval fantasy world, right?
I would say more of a Dragon Quest. It is the little kids' version of what a medieval fantasy world looks like.
Okay, all right. Well, I find that to be
Berserk.
repugnant.
It is not, my friend.
All right. Well, did it get you? Do you have any?
Oh no, this is trash. I'm not going to go watch more of this.
Absolute trash. Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Speaking of, I also, because I watched this and the video game tie-in, Crunchyroll suggested another spring lineup episode 1.
And you're like, dump it in my gullet. Yes, please.
Yes, let me slurp it down, baby. I want to feel
Give
that.
it to me.
I want to feel that ooze go down into my gut.
I fucking hated what you just showed me. Give me more.
Yeah. Well, what is being an anime fan, sir?
Except just letting the slow conveyor belt just drop things directly into your open mouth.
I mean, the fact is there isn't that much good shit, so we have to take what we get.
Yeah, well, hey, there's good shit now. Good shit's coming, baby. It's already out.
Unrelated to that, I watched My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999.
Yay.
Yay. And that is about a girl whose boyfriend gets her into this MMO and then breaks up with her for another girl that he met in the MMO.
Honestly, a tale as old as time.
Yes. And so she goes to an IRL event because she hears that he's going to be there with his new girlfriend. Her plan was to get all dressed up and go and make him jealous of how well she's doing post-breakup. The classic. And so the catalyst for the show is to make him jealous. She randomly latches on to a guy nearby and is like, hey, I'll give you this super cool bonus coupon for an in-game item that I got for showing up to the event if you pretend to be my boyfriend in front of this guy. And it turns out that guy is both... like, apparently a famous pro FPS gamer.
Oh.
And a guildmate of hers that she had gotten in an argument with the day previous.
Ooh, I hate this guy. I hate him.
And his whole thing is that he is, like, very emotionless and aloof. Because the reason they got in an argument in the game is because he was asking if he could farm in the area that she was in. And she was like, oh, I'm actually farming this area because I'm frustrated about my life. And he's like, yeah, I don't give a shit about that. Can you leave, please?
Oh, wait, I hate him slightly less. I don't know if you ever played WoW, but like legitimately that was a super annoying thing people used to do.
It's like, hey, I just had to argue with my girlfriend. Like, I'm really going through a tough time right now. Can you just let me, like, I really enjoy doing this run through Death Canyon.
I need to kill these fucking owl bears here. And you show up and you're like, oh, I can wait a couple minutes for you to clear the camp. And they're like, no, I'm going to do it at my leisure. You're like, fuck you.
And so he's like, yeah, I don't care about your life. Can you leave, please? And they get in an argument. And then the next day, coincidentally, he is the guy that she asked to pretend to be her boyfriend.
Naturally.
And then...
Is he hot?
Yeah, he's real hot.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, that's the linchpin of the series is that he's a hot guy.
He's a hottie.
It's not going to work with anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's got to be a hottie.
And so at the end of the episode, he does something slightly gentlemanly. I can't remember. And she is like, oh my God, do I have a crush on him? And that was the end of the episode.
Somebody calls her a bitch and he's like, hey, she's not actually that much of a bitch.
No, they go to a restaurant after the IRL meetup.
And he tips?
Well, that's the thing. She goes to the bathroom, and when she comes back, he's gone, and she thinks he dipped, but he actually went to the convenience store to buy Band-Aids because she tripped earlier and her ankle was bleeding.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he paid for the meal. Like,
no.
That would have been kind of nice.
No, he actually explicitly made her pay for the meal.
Oh. So he is a piece of shit. What the fuck?
Well, he goes back and he comes back with the Band-Aids, and she's like, wow, thank you. And he's like, well, it's the least I could do since, I drank all those sodas and you're paying for it.
Oh my God. Okay, I hate him again.
And then she likes him, ?
Awful. Death penalty.
That's what I've been watching. Those are the new releases on my schedule.
Okay, and so that is a new show. That was literally fresh off the presses, right?
Yeah, that was day one of spring lineup.
Oh boy. Okay, and are you gonna watch more of this show? Did it get you?
I don't think so. Probably not.
No. Okay. It sounds pretty bad.
It's not. I mean,
I can't lie.
It's bad in the way that it's like offers nothing really to talk about one way or the other. Good shows are like okay for a minute or two. Bad shows have a lot to talk about. This was like offensively mundane in the end.
Right. Like half the rom-com lineup every year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can we talk about something that was like good?
Let's talk about something that we both watched that was slightly better than bad, in my opinion.
Finally, it finally happened. Okay, so Hell's Paradise episode 1
is out, people.
It dropped, baby. I'm so excited for this. I don't even know where to start. I guess start at the OP. The only thing that I found disappointing was the song doesn't really slap.
That was my thought too. I was really disappointed with the song, and I feel like I've been spoiled because, Chainsaw Man anime, pretty good. I think opening OP, great. Fucking love that kickback.
Good song.
Every ending to the season had a different song. Some of them were better than others, but I think combined with the animations, they were all great.
Pretty good.
So that really spoiled me. This was lackluster, but
also, and recently we had Jujutsu Kaisen had like a fucking fantastic closer song. I love that song.
That was great. That
and
bangs.
Of course, the season 1 of Spy Family has like one of my favorite songs ever. Like comedy by Gen Hoshino, like that shit is so fucking good.
I loved every Spy Family opener and closer. They were all gold to me.
Really good shit.
Same with the Kaguya-sama Love is War openings.
Great song. Great
songs. So I feel like I've been supping off the good nectar for a while now.
I know. We were spoiled. I mean, so this was an inevitable letdown at some point. Something had to go wrong. But, it wasn't that bad. And also the animation is fantastic anyway. I love the choices that they went with. They always do, the OPs always do their little teasery thing where they're like, ooh, look what's coming up in this season. Aren't you like sufficiently titillated? And it's like, the answer is yes. I think they chose good shit.
Ever since Jujutsu Kaisen, MAP has been hitting it out of the park. They've been doing some real good stuff.
They have a pretty great track record, and this episode they did some pretty great shit, which is funny because, like, I guess we can get into it, like, not a huge amount of action in episode 1, which I was a little surprised about. I was surprised that this is a very firmly an action-oriented show, but we decided to start with just all the backstory, just dump all the backstory at once. My background with Hell's Paradise is, a while ago you gave me a list of manga to do a 1-chapter read on. Read the chapter 1 of all these, and that was one of them. And from what I remember, it's pretty much everything that was in that chapter 1 showed up in this episode. They did it pretty much beat for beat. I don't think that there was too much superfluous information that they put in there. Oh, no. And you definitely read it much, much more recently than me, so you would be more on that. I was just surprised that, we're getting into it. Like we said, episode 1 is the chance to, like, hook the audience, and I think they did fine. I think this is sufficiently interesting, but I really thought they would, like, get into it, like introduce more than our central 2 characters and have a little bit more action, but we just had kind of the backstory dump. And I didn't realize that they revealed his wife's facial scarring so soon. I thought that was maybe later on, but
no, that was chapter 1 in the manga as well.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
It's got that, like, Ready Player One, the movie type thing where it's like, oh, look at my horribly scarred face, and it's
just a cute anime girl with
it's a cute anime girl with, like, a scar across her eye that makes her look honestly kind of badass.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly Phantom of the Opera shit. She's not, like, ripping off a mask and she's Lon Shady Jr.
She's like, you're the only one who could fall in love with my hideous face. And he's like, wow, a girl is talking to me.
Yeah, like the shadow is lifted from her face, and she's like, "Don't look, don't look." She has like a little like beauty mark above her mouth. I'm hideous. It's like, okay, all right.
I'm a monster.
Oh no. Okay, sure.
So I mean, that's one nitpick, but overall, I think it's a twist for me that the premise is a dude who is like, oh yeah, I'm like my relationship and I want to fight for it. Like I like her in a romantic way and I'm not embarrassed about that. It's actually my motivation.
This was one of the original things in the manga that hooked me almost immediately. Was one,
he's a wife guy.
Well, one, we're dealing with 2 adults, 2, we're dealing with a wife guy who, like, doesn't hate his wife, has a legitimate, like, adult romantic relationship with another consenting human being that they don't really get into, obviously. You don't have...
Well, he's a super badass ninja, right? Gets betrayed by his ninja clan, and he's arrested by some douchebag who's trying to kill him. And the whole premise of the series is there's this lady there taking notes, trying to figure out, like, what his deal is, because they can't kill him. Like, every try they try and chop off his head and the sword breaks. They try and, like, boil him in oil and, like, nothing happens.
They don't realize he's a super badass ninja who's a fire type.
Yeah.
So they keep trying to burn him, and it's just healing him. He's just getting healing values back. His HP keeps going right back up whenever they set him on fire. Real dumbasses.
So the reason he got betrayed is because, like, he realized that, like, oh shit, I don't want to be an assassin anymore, so I'm gonna fuck off from the village.
Well, okay, well, let me put it like this. You know that thing in cop shows where the wife is like, why do you keep doing this? And he's like, sorry, baby, I gotta take the call. He basically he does that thing that you always say the cop should do and be like, well, I quit. I'm gonna be a wife guy now.
I don't want to. I want to be with my wife. I don't want to die.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to die. I don't want to keep doing this shit where I show up home like at 2 a.m. and I'm all grumpy and shit. No, he just wants to be like a wife guy and live in peace. And that makes him kicks off the entire series of events.
And so it sounds like going forward, it's going to be some kind of a death game almost, where he's competing with these other condemned criminals to find the elixir of life and bring it back. Am I getting that right?
That's what it says on the tin.
That's the premise. That's what I liked about it. I like that he's a wife guy. That's a good twist.
It's a great twist.
Usually these guys don't like being with a partner for some reason. This guy does, and I think that's worth highlighting.
Yeah.
All right, you manga freak. What else have you?
Well, I did. What else came out was the first episode of Tengoku Daimakyo. But going into that, I kind of want to talk about like how we should talk about this stuff moving forward.
Oh yeah.
Because one of the original pitches that I was talking about the show is. And no offense to anyone out there, but basically every other person who talks about anime in a public space has god-awful taste. You have terrible taste. Sorry.
It's true.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're constantly recommending bad shit. And I thought, the what makes doing this worthwhile is like setting the record straight, right? Is going, this is bad. And this is good.
Hey, all you other anime reviewers out there, I've had it about up to here with you.
Yeah, I really, one of the things that really I struggle with is like finding new stuff to read and watch, and not because there's not stuff, an absolute bottomless pit of anime and manga out there waiting to be devoured. But the problem is,
what's that saying? Water everywhere. So let's all have a drink.
Yeah, that's how that goes for sure. That's how it says. Yeah, it's more like the food is terrible in such small portions. Like that's kind of where we're at. But like you can't find recommendations or straight up reviews because everyone else fucking sucks. They have terrible taste. I'm so sorry.
No, it's not you. That's just an objective fact.
It's just an objective fact. So basically, I don't necessarily want to do like full reviews, but I definitely want to help steer you away from bad things and towards good things. I think as far as any kind of core tenet of what we're doing here, I think that should be one of the poles, one of the pillars. So I just wanted to kind of get that out of the way. I don't know if we should be doing like a review show, but this is definitely a recommend and a steer clear of type show.
I would, in fact, even go so far as to call this an anti-review show. Don't listen to the stuff we talk about, or don't read it, don't watch it.
Close your eyes, close your ears, hide in the closet.
Yeah.
So like with Hell's Paradise, I think it's good that we talked about episode 1. We have confirmed that as far as kicking off the show goes, I think they're on the right track. I think that is a worthwhile adaptation. And so leading into Tengoku Daimakyo is very much in a similar vein. I don't need to get super into the narrative or the nitty-gritty, right? But I can say Tengoku Daimakyo from second one is phenomenal. This is the show of the season. I can say that already. Like, the animation is so extra. They go so fucking hard on the frames. If you watch even just the first minute, you will be hooked. So it's like, I'm not sure even how much more I could even say. I think the Japanese voice actors are doing a great job. The animation, even though occasionally they do that new Mappa style CG.
See, that's the stuff that I'm less of a fan of, which, again, I was real glad that Hell's Paradise episode 1 really steered clear of that, because they have been known...
free.
Yeah, CGI free. Good animation. Great stuff.
Yes, and I would say... they do a very little bit of that, but it is good. Like, they don't use it for any, like, weird monsters or overly rotoscoped fight scenes or anything like that. Everything else is very traditional animation. I think it meshes pretty well in the way that Chainsaw Man sometimes used it to better effect than other times. I think Tengoku Daimakyo is very obviously going to be the fucking hit of this season.
Can you give me the pitch in a minute or less?
Well, I described it a little bit in the episode when we were talking about the spring lineup a couple episodes ago. But basically, we start off with children in a sort of what seems to be like a futuristic school.
Oh, yes. Okay. I totally remember this one. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, exactly. And then we transition to our other main characters, who are these this boy and girl who are making their way across this sort of destroyed post-apocalyptic-ish landscape. And they're in search of people, and we're kind of the central mystery is, how are these two things going to collide together? That's the thrust. And they do a really great job of setting up both of those sides of the story. For a first episode, they sell the shit out of it. I mean, it's hooked like a motherfucker. Call Pinhead, because the hooks are fucking out.
Man, that Mappa hitting it out of the park this season.
They've got a great reputation for a reason. They're just doing really, really great work. And I think some of this was like Toho Studios.
Okay.
As well, especially for a lot of the Tengoku Daimakyo stuff. But yeah, that is immediately must watch. I mean, if you are going to watch any anime on a week-to-week basis, it has to be this one. As much as I love Hell's Paradise, this is fucking choice. I really don't even know much more to say. It really just fucking knocked me out of the park. Get on that shit. Oh, the only bad thing, since we mentioned one bad thing about Hell's Paradise, the only bad thing about this show is it's on Disney Plus.
What, really?
Really. That's the only streaming site, a paid streaming site that has it in the U.S., I think.
Damn. Mouse is moving in on all kinds of new genres.
I don't know what deal was struck. I don't know how that happened, but like you have in America, you have to watch it on Disney Plus. Also, they don't really give a fuck, so you can't even search for the English name for it, which is Heavenly Delusion. You have to search Tengoku Daimakyo. So keep that in mind. I won't spell it for you. You're gonna have to look it up.
You heard it here, folks. Check it out.
And I would never tell you to do something like pirate it. Maybe from a website where you can torrent anime. I would never say anything like, maybe go to nya.si and download the episode there, or find it on your favorite streaming site. I would not tell you to do that, because that's bad. Less said about that, the better. Maybe we should take a break before I mention more websites you can download stuff off of.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, I got something for you.
All right. Oh boy. All right.
Welcome back, Anime Death Spiral. We were talking about some of the spring lineup, new releases we were watching. Tengoku Daimakyo, Hell's Paradise, go check them out.
And if you weren't listening, hey, go back and listen to the rest of the episode.
Yeah, start from the beginning, people. Don't start here.
You just missed all... go back, dude.
All right, for those of us who have been keeping up with the lore, last episode, Remy gave me a quiz of the isekai nature. For all the wrong answers, I had to go watch a horrible isekai episode. Some of them have not come out yet. We talked about Kuma 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 Bear, so I kept my end of the bargain. Now I'm coming back at you with a quiz of my own. Are you ready for the challenge?
So you wanted revenge, huh?
I wanted revenge. That is pretty much my guts-like motivation in this life.
Oh, you stepped to me.
Indeed.
Well, lay it on me, kid.
Okay, rules of the game. I am going to send you a list of horrible rom-com anime or manga. It's not exclusive. Some of them are manga, some of them are anime, some of them are both. And then I am going to give you a list of... I will progressively give you a list of traits describing the pro tags of these various anime. No names. And you're going to have to try and match it to a title.
Oh, boy.
I will give you a description, and then you will have to tell me which title you think it goes to. Got it?
I think I got it. I'm feeling pretty confident about this one.
Okay. Here is the list of titles.
All right, let's see here.
You may go through them if you want.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, you know what? I know some of these already, so you're going to have to be a little tricky with me, because some of these I've read.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And how do you want me to do this? Should I answer each one, or should we go through the list?
I'm going to give you a pro tag description, and then you have to give me a title. And if you get it wrong, you have to either watch an episode of the anime or read 5 chapters of the manga, if you haven't already.
Okay. And are you going to tell me yes or no immediately, or do we have to wait to the end?
I don't know. Which would you prefer?
Well, it'll be easier for me if you tell me immediately.
Then I'm going to wait to the end.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay, first one. A boy with an inability to be dishonest or deceitful about his feelings or intentions.
All right. I think a boy who is overly honest. That has got to be, shit. Fuck. That's gotta be his and her circumstances, right?
We'll see at the end.
Oh, shit. Oh, God. Okay, I'm immediately sweating. I was too confident. Hit me with number 2.
Okay. A shy and socially anxious nerd who wants to be a painter.
See, if you'd left out that last part, that would have been way too hard.
It would have been too generic. I had to keep these a little specific.
Yeah, you got to give us one character trait at least. That is obviously Nagatoro. I know that one. You can't get me on that one.
All right. Pro tag 3. An upstanding businessman who secretly loves video games.
Oh, no. I'm going to say... Shit. That's gotta be Love is Hard for Otaku. I'm calling that one.
You're calling it?
It's gotta be that, yeah. Number 4. Let's do it.
Okay, number 4. A socially anxious teen who thinks girls with runny noses are cute.
Girls with runny noses. Now that is a twist for me. Shit. I'm just gonna straight up have to guess. Is that girlfriend?
We'll see at the end.
Okay, foo boy.
Oh man, this is spicing up.
Oh no, I'm feeling bad about this now. I've got a bad feeling.
Okay, and per the rules of the game, this is not elimination. You know, I'm gonna tell you the results at the end. You just have the list of possible answers. But every title does go to a pro tag, so there are no tricks here.
All right, good. Okay. Number 5.
A socially anxious heir to a large fortune.
That's it?
Yes.
Oh fuck. God. Oh my God. Okay, let's see. Let me see what I've already said. Yep. Okay, so I've just got to guess. Is that?
I mean, you can guess the same title twice. I'm not eliminating them.
I am.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna say that's Ayoriyoshi.
Is that your final answer?
That's my guess.
Oh. All right. Moving on. A teen who likes to work out at a karate dojo but has no ability to pick up on romantic feelings.
Okay, all right. That's definitely Tomo-chan. That's gotta be Tomo-chan.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to tell you, but yeah, you got that one. I'll give you that one for free.
Yeah, I know that one. Okay, we just talked about that. I know that one. Okay, all right. Number 7. Let's do it.
Number 7, a punk who has a thing for quiet introvert girls.
Hey, you can't get me with that one because I've already read My Little Monster
front
to back. That's right. I love My Little Monster. It doesn't have really an ending, but you know what rom-com actually has a satisfying ending? Up until the last 10 chapters, My Little Monster, good stuff, right? I recommend.
All right, number 8. Let's see here. A high school student who is also a famous shoujo mangaka.
Oh, yeah.
But also cannot pick up on romantic intent.
No, they always have a hard time with that, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely Nozaki-kun. Absolutely, it is. I'm locked in.
Yep. I'm just telling you at this point. I'm just telling you the answers.
You don't have to tell me.
All right. Number 9. An heir to a large fortune who is not socially anxious.
Oh my God. Another large fortune?
It happens all the time.
Is that shit? Is that Hokkaido gals? Maybe.
Is that your final answer?
Fuck. Yes. I'm calling it. Yeah.
Okay.
Flailing in the wind here.
And last one, an introvert who likes to work out and swim.
Well, that's Uzaki-chan. Another one we talked about already.
We talked about it. Okay, yeah.
We talked about it.
I figured you would have known that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So you got that right. You got Tomo-chan. You got Nagatoro, obviously. You fucking pervert.
Yep. Walk down the list here. Let's walk down the list. Okay, number 1, Uzaki-chan wants to hang out.
You got it.
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Tomo-chan is a girl. I think I got that one.
You got that one.
Okay. Don't bully Nagatoro. I definitely got that one.
You definitely got that one.
Yes. His and her circumstances. I don't know.
You did not get that one.
Oh fuck! What was it?
That was the socially anxious heir to a large fortune.
Oh my God. Okay, girlfriend.
That was the boy with an inability to be dishonest or deceitful about his feelings.
Did I get that?
You did not get that. You gotta watch an episode of Girlfriend.
Ah, shit. Okay. Hokkaido gals are adorable. Did I get it?
No, that was the runny nose pervert.
Oh my God, it's the runny nose?
Yep.
Hokkaido gal has the runny nose?
Yeah, because it's up north in the cold.
Oh my God.
So that is not an anime, so you gotta read 5 chapters of that one.
Jesus. But Hokkaido gals would know how to handle a runny nose, right?
They have a whole rule. They have a whole set of rules on what does and does not make a Hokkaido gal. You'll see.
Oh my God. All right, fine. I definitely got My Little Monster.
You did. You definitely got My Little Monster.
Yes. Okay, what about Ayoriyoshi?
You did not get Ayoriyoshi. That is a dual manga anime. You can choose 1 episode of the anime or 5 chapters of the manga.
Well, what was that? What was that one?
That was the heir to a large fortune who's not socially anxious. He's just like a cool guy.
He's just a cool guy?
He's just like a cool dude.
See, I tend to avoid large fortunes. I don't like large fortunes.
His whole thing is that he actually doesn't want to be an heir to a large fortune.
Oh, I know. They never want to be the heir. Yeah, you fucking punks. Whatever. Okay, well, what about Love is Hard for Otaku?
You did get that one. That was correct.
I did get that one. Okay.
And you also got Monthly Girls Nozoki-kun.
Yeah. I knew that one. Mm-hmm. I knew that one. So a couple of these I had a little bit of an advantage. I already knew.
I wasn't sure. I went through and I picked several of what I didn't think was the top rom-com on the various sites that I browse, but you got
you very conspicuously you left out Horimiya and you left out Shikimori is Not Just a Cutie, which are two very popular ones right now.
I also left out Kaguya-sama because I know you
Obviously
read that.
Left out Kaguya because that's not exactly the most distinctive personality, but I probably would have gotten it.
Yeah, I think that you did about as well as I expected, and I think I got you back for that isekai quiz.
God damn it. Well,
so you're gonna have to give me a report on some of these next episode.
All right. I feel like this one was harder than mine, but okay. All right. I will do it. I will romance it up. Maybe I'll even like some of these. Who knows?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
You didn't try to choose ones that were actually good?
Oh, no. These were specifically the trash ones.
Fuck. Damn it. But you didn't choose Mysterious Girlfriend X.
No, I didn't.
Wow. What restraint?
Well, I wanted to limit it to 10 to keep in line with the isekai one last episode. So if you want to bump up the body count next time, be my guest.
I'm not going to read Mysterious Girlfriend X just for fun. I'm sorry. I'm still pretty repelled by that concept. Sorry if you like it out there. Hey, if you like it and you think that's actually worth reading, hit me up. I would love to be talked out of hating it, I guess. Wow, that was intense. I'll have to bump down a couple of my death games that I'm reading to make room for these awful romantic comedies, but I'm willing to make that sacrifice for you, best friend. You, best friend, the listener, who we have a real, actual relationship with, and we're actually friends with you. And that's what makes it so nice that you joined us for another Anime Death Spiral. I'm really glad that we got to hang out.
Here at Anime Death Spiral, we don't know the meaning of the word parasocial.
I literally don't know what that word means. I've never heard para or social. But, it's very nice that you came and hung out with us. I think you're leaving with, for once, some really great recommendations. You can have some nice animes to watch. All right. Well, you can hold me to it. I promise I will uphold my side of the bargain. I do not back down from any manga challenge, and that goes for anybody, even you, my best friend who's listening to this. Is there anything else we should be looking forward to, maybe for next episode, maybe something coming up or something you want to talk about? I know you've been really itching to talk about Kingdom Hearts for some reason.
Well, I was about to say that we had done some cursory talk about maybe going into a little bit of video game anime next episode.
Because you are just desperate to get this Kingdom Hearts.
It's, it's a monkey on my back, sir.
Yeah, you just have some seriously hot takes that are just burning a hole in your pocket. You have to get rid of them.
It's true. Find him next time on Anime Death Spiral.
Bye.
Bye.
Mr. Kennedy, you are just a bit player in my script. Your B performance is so lacking. And Leon's like, oh yeah, big guy? Well, why don't you get a load of this? He shoots a bunch of bullets that miss.